Hey, welcome to my application, Second Opinion. Second Opinion is an application that enables a user to input their symptoms and details and receive a list of possible illnesses. Before we dive into our application, let's start by understanding what the problem is. The real problem is that figuring out what's wrong with a patient is really hard. Doctors have to look through a mountain of documents like medical history, different symptoms, and test results. And this is often time consuming and means patients may not receive the right treatment in time. The problem gets worse when you consider rare diseases, with over 10,000 rare diseases identified, and most doctors have never really interacted with them because they're so uncommon. This is like asking a regular person to solve a puzzle, even when they've never seen the image on the box. It's quite a funny thing to do. This is where a second operation comes in. It allows a user to input details including age, sex, weight, height, and symptoms. So let's say an individual is having back pain and diarrhea. They'll be able to input that, and they'll also be able to input the relevant images, all which would be used in generating their diagnosis. So let's see what that means. Great. Our app has just returned a list of illnesses, and each illness has four sections. That's common symptoms, a diagnosis test, why do you think this patient has this disease, and contact a medical professional. Before we go over the illnesses, I want us to check this list here. This is what I call the additional symptoms list. When someone clicks on characters here, on different symptoms here, they can recalculate the diagnosis of the patient. So this is usually what happens in medical practice. You have an initial diagnosis, and then when you get back test results, you can refine that diagnosis. So in case you get back something, you can refine, or in case someone has developed new sets of symptoms, you can use those to recalculate their diagnosis. Great, and we can now see that our diagnosis has been recalibrated and we now have a new list of diseases. So let's go over just one of these. So as you can see, the common symptoms of these diseases are those. There's a diagnostic test that's being provided. And then when we click on why do we think this patient has this disease, we use the sonar reasoning models to take into as a context all of the user data. That includes all the data that the user entered, and including this newly refined test, and including any other information. And then our model will reason and tell you why it thinks you have this exact disease, and it will also include live links, as you can see. So let's say I want you to actually read further and actually understand. This is providing links from where the AI got the sources that it used to create these answers. And so you could go and on these different websites and read more on this disease, or you could choose to trust what the AI is saying. We also have the last option where you can contact a medical professional. That requires an individual to enable their location option. And once this is done, a user will be able to receive back a list of all the hospitals in the area concerning that disease. And as you can see, we've had a list returned for us, including a phone number and a Google Links map. So you can use the Google link and you can actually go view where the exact hospital they're saying is. Yeah. And so this has been our tool. Thank you for your time.